There's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. Let me just set that up right now by saying we ain't doing no judgment here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are gonna be going over how I really feel about being pregnant. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everybody who watched our little gender reveal video / vacation video. If you did not get a chance to watch that, go watch it. It was pretty enjoyable. If you just don't care to go watch it, I'll just tell you, we're having a girl. So we're very excited. We do have a name picked out. We are not telling anybody the name yet. We've told some family and some friends. It's very different. I will be letting you guys know the name soon, I promise. But yeah, so for today's video, I've gotten so many questions about just how I have felt being pregnant. And let me actually show you guys. I don't know if you can see the little bump today, but she's in there. Nice and bumping. But yeah, so a lot of you've asked, you've wondered, you've been asking me, how are you feeling? How has pregnancy been for you? This is our first baby, for those of you who are new to my channel. And like I said, we're very excited. I do have a lot of thoughts on pregnancy thus far. I'm sure I'm gonna have more after I give birth. But yeah, we're just gonna dive into it. So first, I guess we can kind of talk about, for me, how the journey has been thus far. I didn't really experience a whole lot of sickness. I honestly would say I've been blessed with a pretty great pregnancy. The first trimester had a little bit of nausea, but it was only if I didn't eat. That's like what use your words, Simone. Contributed to me feeling sick. And so, yeah, I only threw up twice, and it was because, honestly, here's what happened. I coughed too hard, which then made me gag, which then it was like, we can't recover. We're not coming back from this. So that's why I threw up. But yeah, first trimester wasn't super duper bad. Like I said, just had a little bit of nausea. Just had to make sure I ate and had ice water. Like this whole pregnancy, I swear, this child is gonna be a camel like her mother, because I love water. I drink a ton of water, and she loves water. That's about the only thing I crave, is just give me ice water all the time. So yeah, so on the sickness side of things, it's been pretty easy. I haven't had any super crazy cravings. It's like, I feel bad, like people ask me like, oh, are you experiencing this? And I'm like, honestly, up until this point, I would say I'm 23 weeks right now. Up until this point, I haven't even really felt pregnant, just like pretty bloated. And then until she started moving a lot and kicking, which I am starting to feel it more now. And so obviously I know I'm pregnant, but yeah, I've been, especially coming into the second trimester and getting my energy back. The first trimester, which I know everybody says you're tired, you don't really have a ton of energy. And that was true. I more so just wanted to sleep, and I didn't really have the energy to go to the gym and do all of that. I would go when I could and just get on the treadmill and walk pretty much. But once my second trimester hit, it was like, boom, baby, we back in the game. We gonna do this thing. And I felt great, like back to, old Simone. I'm at the gym 4 days a week. I'm, for anybody that's concerned, I have had a strong fitness regimen for probably like 5 to 7 years. And so working out has been my normal. So I obviously have adjusted my weights. I'm not lifting anything super heavy. I'm doing mostly body weight exercises, but for me, getting in the gym makes me feel so much better and feel so much more normal. So I am very much enjoying my workouts right now. I usually do, my cardio of choice right now is the Stairmaster, because I feel like I get more of a burn. Or I'll do, if I'm over the Stairmaster, I'll do the treadmill at like a 15 incline, which is one of my favorites just in general form of like steady state cardio. So I'll do the incline all the way up, and I'll walk that puppy. I'll go forwards, backwards. I'll get a little like, a little dance moves, you bend a little bit. So you work those hammies. Whew, they burn by the time I get off that thing. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I thought I'd do like a whole nother video. Maybe I'll do that postpartum on like having a fit pregnancy, because I haven't gained a super ton of weight. I mean, obviously I am gaining weight. Oh man, put your phone on silent, Simone. Put your phone on silent. Let's try this again. So at this point, I'm 23 weeks and I've only gained about 10 pounds. So I know obviously, you know, gaining weight is important. You are gonna gain weight, but my aim is, like I said, to be pretty much belly only fit pregnancy. I know you are gonna hold on to some more fat because you are pregnant, but I'm just really not trying to hold on to any unhealthy fats. And I'm keeping my diet really clean. Like I said, I don't really have any crazy cravings. And that's another thing, I guess, that like is one of my thoughts I'm gonna go into here in a minute on pregnancy. And for every person, it's different. You know, maybe, I know some women do experience really, really crazy cravings. I also know that, you know, them telling you that you need to eat for two, that's a lie. You do not need to eat for two people. You're not really helping yourself doing that either. You're not gonna feel good in the end if you do that. And so you really only need like, I think it's like maybe 300 extra calories a day. It changes per trimester. But yeah, so I'm eating my normal. I feel better when I eat my normal. When we go out and I eat something that is not healthy, I honestly, like last night we went and had Chinese food, and this morning, oh, my eyes were so puffy from the sodium, and I was like, get me to the gym. I'm gonna go sweat. Give me like 8 gallons of water. And I drank a ton of water, and I've been just like I've been drinking lemon water and flushing all of that out, and I'm starting to feel better. It's like 4 o'clock right now. So yeah, so for me, that's kind of where I've been at with food and cravings and what I've been eating. And like I said, just trying to really keep myself in a good place. So yeah, if any of you are out there interested in kind of, I don't know, some more details about how I'm trying to stay in shape and eat healthy and all of those things while pregnant, like I said, I plan on doing a full postpartum fit pregnancy thing. I've got my goals for after I give birth, and you know, obviously I'm gonna give myself grace. I wanna look even better than I did when I was 26. I'm gonna have my little baby girl on my arm, and I'm gonna be like, what up, honey? I know, I'm your hot mama. No, just kidding. I don't know, I'm a dork. Anyways, so yeah, on the whole diet thing, you know, I really believe it's whatever you believe up here is what's gonna dictate your decisions. So for me, I don't believe I need to eat for two. I believe that I don't need to, you know, eat Taco Bell every day. You can easily use pregnancy as an excuse, and this is something that I just, for me, I'm being very on myself because I know that I could easily slip over into that, which I know me. And this is the biggest thing that I would say how I really feel about pregnancy is you've got to listen to your body, and you've really got to know yourself. Like for me, I know that, you know, 6 months after I have her, if this side of pregnancy, I didn't do what I could to set myself up for success that side of pregnancy, I'm not gonna feel good up here. And so for me, if I know right now, you know, look, 80-20 rule, right? I'm eating 80% clean, I'm 20% still letting myself have, you know, a little here or there. Like the other day, Sean and I went to Starbucks and I split a cake pop. And, you know, I had half of a cake pop, which gave me a little bit of a, you know, my sugar fix, but I didn't eat 12 cake pops. And so it's all about moderation. You know, if you want to let yourself have all of that, that's your decision. Like I said, every person is different, and every person's vision of pregnancy is different. And this is for you, your time. There's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. Let me just set that up right now by saying, we ain't doing no judgment here, okay? So, putting that in there for you. If that's you, girl, you go for it. Like I said, for me, I know myself, I know my goals, and so that's not my goal. So I'm really staying true to eating clean, still letting myself have a little something here or there. But yeah, so that's the health, fitness, how I'm feeling about that side of pregnancy thing. Do a whole nother thing on how to have fit pregnancy, all that probably post having her, so I can speak more to that. Let's see. Okay, let's get into some of, I would say, my, I don't know, I guess, I don't want to say weird feelings about pregnancy, uncomfortable feelings about pregnancy. For me, physically, I don't really feel like uncomfortable. I still feel like me, just, you know, with some extra room up here. So, you know, some of the other sides of pregnancy, I'm sure I can probably talk to that, like the physical sides after I give birth, and I'll let you guys know how I feel, the vulnerable, real deal details after. But yeah, so physically I don't really feel any of that. I would say probably for me the strangest part of being pregnant is just, and I know this, so it's like, it shouldn't be strange to me, but I don't think I fully prepared myself for how I was gonna feel being pregnant, which is like all of the attention. And look, I'm out in the public eye. I'm very much, an extrovert in that sense, but it's weird. Pregnancy has almost made me feel a little bit more introverted, and, just like the constant like, how do you feel? And I kind of have felt like this, like, I don't know, this like anxiety sometimes, because I mean, week to week, you feel the same. It's like, when people get excited, and I know they're excited, so I don't want to, I'm not saying anything against them, but for me, it's been weird for me because I feel like if I'm not excited when I give a response, then I look or I sound like, I don't know, like I hate pregnancy or something. But it's really, the reality is I feel exactly the same this week that I did last week when somebody asked me if I was really excited. So my answers have kind of been like, yes, we are very excited. It's going to be great. But like having the freak out, like, oh my gosh, yes, it's going to be the best thing ever. I'm not there. And honestly, that hasn't been me as a pregnant person in general. I've so weird. This is another reason why I thought I was having a boy, guys, because I swear I have like dude brain. Like for me, I have almost become like non-emotional, and I'm just like this. Like just pretty, I've only had like maybe 1 or 2 meltdowns, and it was because I got in my head and I was thinking about some stuff that I couldn't control, and Sean calmed me down, and it was a really good conversation. So that's one tip I'd give you, is make sure you have really good communication with your spouse. Make sure you guys are on the same page with things like who's gonna be in the room, if you're gonna call people when you're going to the hospital, what you're gonna do. We got on the same page with all of that, and we are like, we're one. So that made me feel really good. That was like one of the only things I was kind of like freaking out about in my head. But I've been pretty like this, honestly. Not super crazy, not super emotional, almost even just like, I guess I could come across like I'm not excited, but I'm excited. I'm just pretty chill. Like honestly, that's been my attitude while being pregnant. And so I'm just like, this is cool. We're making a baby. It's awesome. Sweet, it's gonna be great. So, but yeah, so like some of the attention has kind of made me almost like shut down a little bit, because I'm like, yes, it's so good, and yeah, so I think just coming to a place where I'm not, trying to please people and be somebody I'm not in that moment, and that's helped me a lot in that. Yeah, so that's been weird. Having people that you don't really know super well, like come up and just touch your stomach, and like that, I will say, is really weird for me. Like it's like the invasion of privacy thing. Like I said, like I'm not used to that. So that's been a little strange. I will say, if you see a pregnant person, ask them if you can touch their stomach, because it's a little weird, and I'm having to get used to it. Like I said, I know people want to, and I'm thankful because most people have asked if they can, because most people I know are just super respectful and they'll ask. So that's been really great to, like I said, people that are respectful and asking. I usually say yes. I'm never gonna say no. It's just the feeling of when somebody doesn't ask, that's just kind of like, that's a little strange for me. But so there's that. Okay, here's another thing that how I really feel about pregnancy, or how I really feel about having a baby. I really feel like we as women should just champion each other and not judge each other, and let each other make the decisions that are best for each other. And like I said, coming into this whole thing and realizing I had no grid for like, mom shaming or this or criticism or that, and haven't encountered a whole ton of that. There's been a couple of moments where, like I said, I've had someone just give me an opinion that I'm like, we're just gonna shelf that. That's kind of where I've been at, is like, I've come to the place where I'm not being rude to anyone. I'm taking it all in and I'm just shelving it. And if I use their wisdom or their advice at some point, cool. If I don't, cool. So this has been something that, here's really, I think, what's behind it. Okay, so I'm 31 years old. If you didn't know that, now you know. I'm 31, having our first baby. And so I've had a lot of life up until this point. I have traveled the world. I've done a lot of stuff. I'm a very independent person, and I'm very strong-willed as well. If you didn't know that, I am. My personality doesn't always come through like that, but when I make up my mind on something, I'm like, I'm set. It's hard to change my mind. So coming into getting pregnant, I think one of the, I don't know, the things I've wrestled with most, if I'm being vulnerable, is that I've had a lot of life. I've lived a lot of life. When people, and I understand people mean really well, like I said, no, I'm not judging anyone, but you know, I'm not 18, I'm not 19 years old, I'm 31 years old, I'm a mature adult. And so I think when I have said certain things or you know, certain ways that I'm planning on doing things after she's born, and I've been met with some like, you know, I don't know, like that's, oh no, you don't know, that's wrong, no, okay? Let's just be real. It comes across as very demeaning and rude, and the reality is I'm 31 years old. I'm a woman, I'm an adult, I have a house, I have a husband, okay? Like just respect one another no matter what age you are. I know that we young women, because I'm 31, so I'm not super old, I'm a young woman, we have a lot to learn, I get that, but I just think the biggest thing that I have just craved during pregnancy is just respect. Respect for my beliefs, respect for the decisions I'm making, just respect. Like, even if it doesn't agree with the way somebody else feels like they would have done something, just having that respect is so huge. And so that's been a big one. I think the thing that I've been having to wrestle with the most is just knowing there's gonna be things you can't control, and being 31 and an independent woman and having, you know, organized my life up to this point, there's gonna be a lot of things that I can't control going into this. I've made certain decisions on things that I can control and what I'm gonna do with those things. One of the biggest helps for me, I guess, and this I am gonna give to you if you are not a mom yet, or maybe you are a mom and maybe this will help you, I don't know. For me, I think what it all boils down to is I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to myself. And this isn't like a pride, I'm not listening to anybody, that's not what I'm talking about. I am listening, and I'm getting in tune with my body and with myself. And one of the best things that I took away from my sister's pregnancy is she said, I have no expectations. Like, I have zero expectations, and I'm just gonna do whatever feels right in the moment. And so that's kind of been for me, the thing is like, okay, I am gonna just listen to whatever feels right to me. If, you know, if something doesn't feel right, I'm having a lot of anxiety about something, I'm not gonna do it. And so that's really what I've settled on, is just, I'm gonna listen to my body and make decisions based on that. And another thought that I have on how I really feel about pregnancy, and you know, I'm gonna say this very obviously delicately because I don't wanna say it in a way that offends anybody, but I really think this is gonna help a lot of women too, because I am not the only woman who has felt like this in pregnancy, and that is that we as moms have rights as well. Our children, obviously, you know, they are the most precious, most important, most amazing gift from God. They are beautiful blessings from the Lord. And something though that I feel like has gotten really imbalanced in our culture is where we make our children our whole world. And don't get me wrong, they are a massive, massive part of our world. And let me say, I'm not saying this from somebody who has not had a kid. I'm saying this actually as a child who, I'm a child, saying this as a young woman who had this as an example. My mom was an incredible mom, has been an incredible mom, and we all have different pictures growing up of what motherhood looks like. And maybe for some of you, you're like, I don't want motherhood to look like that, so I'm not doing that. I know that's very real as well. And so for me, like I said, I have had a really great example of, you know, an amazing mom. You know, Sean as well, his mom is incredible. I love her so much, my mom in love. And so we've had really great moms. And one of the things that my mom really modeled for us as kids is balance and is boundaries. And she never made us feel like we weren't important. She always made us feel heard if, you know, we had a concern or there was something going on. But she was also very, very firm with her boundaries with the things that were important to her as a person as well. Like, you know, for her health and working out was always really important for her. Hers and my dad's alone time, very, very important to her. And we knew as kids, like when mom would, you know, let us know, hey, I can't help you with that right now because mom needs to take care of some stuff. And when mom is done, she will help you. And it was like, we understood that as kids, and none of us were deprived of love or felt like we were emotionally abandoned because our mom, you know, had a life as well. And we always felt like priorities, but we knew where we were at in that priority list, and it was really, really healthy. And so for me, that's been my example. And so, you know, I have a really hard time with this notion or this idea that we as women have to just completely lose our identities and our lives because we have kids. And I saw that modeled for me really healthy. So for me, I've always had this idea of, you know, I come first, because if mom isn't healthy up here, ain't nobody gonna be happy in this house. Like that's reality. So I gotta make sure I'm taking care of my needs. That looks different at all times. I know we sacrifice our needs because sometimes you gotta sacrifice your needs in a moment, but you can't sacrifice your needs for a lifetime. Like you've gotta make sure that your needs are being met and that you're prioritizing those needs just as much as you're prioritizing your kids and your husband. And reality is your kids are gonna grow up one day, they're gonna leave the house, and you're gonna be with your husband. And what's sad, and I'm a pastor, I counsel people. Again, I'm not 22, I'm 31 years old, I'm an adult, okay? I've sat and I've spent time with people who, you know, who did this, who didn't take alone vacations with their spouses and leave the kids with a grandparent for a couple days and get away just the two of them, and they became roommates, and they lost their whole purpose for each other. And so I really believe this is very, very important as moms. And this is what I guess one of the strongest things that I feel about pregnancy is, and that I've been really just adamant about, is that, you know, and I tell her all the time, you are mommy's gift. You are gonna be so perfect and so amazing, and I'm gonna love you so much. I already do, but I also let her know, and you're gonna know how much mommy and daddy love each other, and loves to take care of daddy and loves to take care of herself. And I want her to see that in a really healthy way. And so, you know, I've learned, like, I gotta take care of my needs, and then I've got to make sure that my husband is being taken care of. And there's so many men who feel like they come second to their kids when it comes to their relationships with their wives, because I've sat with them and I've listened to this. And so I take notes, like if that's been an issue, I gotta make sure I don't do that, because that's wisdom. So you either learn through wisdom or you learn through pain, and I don't want to learn through pain in that way. And so you got to make sure you're prioritizing. And I don't think, you know, I think at any given time you're juggling those things, but you really have to make sure that your needs are getting met, that your husband's needs are getting met, and that your children's needs are getting met. And really it's in that order. And that's what was modeled for us, my brother, my sister, and I. And we're very, you know, healthy, contributing adults. We have amazing spouses and families, I would say, in my opinion, and we're thriving. And so I don't think that, like, that's, you're gonna destroy your kids because you have balance and you have boundaries. And so it's something important to teach them, and it really helps them become and grow up and become really healthy. And I've actually read some articles, and I will link some below for you as well, about the dangers of making your children your whole world. And there's actually been some really great articles written on this and what it does, that actually long term, the resentment that you feel as a mom, and you struggle with that because you feel resentment, and you're like, I shouldn't feel resentment because I love my kids. But it's like, you know, if you do that long term, resentment builds up, you know, relationship issues between you and your spouse, and you actually empower your kids more when you teach them healthy boundaries. And again, not that you're a second-class citizen and I'm the only important person in this house. That's not it at all. But it's that we all matter. We're all important in this house, and there's certain things that take precedence over other things. And, you know, mommy and daddy are not at your beck and call 24 hours a day. We will love you. We will kiss you. If you fall down, you get a little boo-boo, we're gonna kiss you. We're gonna make you feel better. But we're also gonna go back into our bedroom and we're gonna lock the door and we're gonna have mommy daddy time. And it's gonna be good because we need to have a healthy marriage. So there you go. Those are my ending thoughts on pregnancy. And so again, I know that, you know, I'm probably gonna have more thoughts postpartum. Like I said, I have my goals, my visions for after having her, and that is to continue to be an influence and do all the things that I'm doing, and, you know, teach her how to be an amazing, strong woman, and that she's powerful and all of those things, and, you know, how to marry an amazing man, because I did marry an amazing man. I love him so much. So that's gonna do it on this. I know I kind of got a little deep. We went a little deep today, but I just want to get vulnerable with you guys and talk about kind of how I really feel. And I think, you know, we would do better to, like I said, every person's got a different vision of pregnancy and of motherhood. And if we just respected those, like for some women, their whole dream is to breastfeed. For other women, that's not their dream. It gives them extreme anxiety. And I think if we could just like let women make the decisions that they need to make and do what's best for their bodies, we would be just, things would be so much better. And people wouldn't feel as stressed out. And we actually make better decisions when we feel championed and not like beaten down. So anyways, that's my wisdom for today. I'm gonna end this video. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that helped you. I would love to create, you know, just a strong community on here of strong women who support each other and believe in each other and encourage each other. So hopefully I'm doing that for you. I believe in you. I believe in the things that are important to you and that matter to you. And I just want to be a voice in your life and in your corner telling you, you are strong, mamacita. You got this. You're gorgeous. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace and know that you're not wrong for having, you know, desires and dreams in your heart and a vision for the way that you want to be a mom. So that's gonna do it. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do. And I'd love it if you would give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That'd mean a lot. And I'd love to hear your comments in the comments below. I will have some more videos coming your way. Pregnancy related, non-pregnancy related, that's kind of the season I'm in. So if you want more pregnancy things, just, you know, comment below, and I will, yeah, I'm gonna be having her baby shower here in August, and I'm really excited for that. And I'm definitely gonna film her baby shower, and we're gonna get her nursery done soon. So I'll give you guys a nursery tour as soon as we're done with that. But that's gonna do it. I love you guys, and hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.